Welcome to Detroit. Doesn't matter if you have one ass cheek and 3 toes. I will beat your ass. You can drown them. And that's what we gotta be. That's who we have to be. Because that's our domain. That is our domain. Because we'll tread water as long as it takes to fucking bury you.
Takes the snap, turns, gives to Montgomery, right side, end zone, touchdown, Detroit Lions! Yes.
We are driven by Detroit.
Hello, Detroit Lions friends, fans, and family members. Welcome on back to another episode of MCM Motor City Mania. I'm your host, David T. Pike. And as always, we're diving on in. I'll tell you something, folks. If there's one thing I know from playing football as long as I did, even though I didn't play in the pros, I did play in college for a little bit. I played in high school, played in middle school. But this rule, this statement that I'm about to make, it applies to football on any level. Any level. I don't care. Doesn't matter if it's flag football, touch football, regular football, pro ball, semi-pro ball, college ball. I don't give a damn. It applies to every single type of football there is. Really, it kind of applies to almost any type of team sport that you have. Maybe except for basketball. Basketball's a little bit different, but still, my point is going to remain the same here. Divas and locker room cancers are the worst thing that can happen to a team. Let me say that again. Divas and locker room cancers are the worst thing that can happen to a team. Why do I bring that up? Well, we're going to talk about the Eagles' offense here today. And we're going to talk about it specifically from the perspective of A.J. Brown. Let's understand something here, folks. A.J. Brown is one of those guys that can take over a game any given Sunday. He's got the size, he's got the speed, he's got the physicality, he's got everything you look for a wide receiver. Except for one thing. His attitude. His personality is all about, I've got to be the main center of attention. I've got to be the guy that gets the majority of the targets. I got to be one of the main pieces of this offense. And if I don't get it, I'm going to throw a pity party. I'm going to pout and I'm going to complain because I'm not getting what I want. And you can't say that that's not the case. I don't care what Philadelphia Eagle fan might drop in this and say, oh, you're just blowing smoke and talking out your you-know-what. I'm going to be like, no, I'm not. Think about it. A.J. Brown, ever since he's been with the Eagles, this is not the first time we've heard him talk about how, oh, I'm not getting enough targets. I'm not the center point of this offense. I'm not getting the chance to show what I really can do. Now, obviously, this year, A.J. Brown is putting it from the perspective of, oh, well, the offense just isn't doing very well, and, I just want the offense to be better. No, you don't. At least not just in that simplistic of terminology. Yeah, of course you want the offense to do better, but you want it to do better by you getting more targets, by you getting more stats, by you looking better. That's how you want the offense to be better, is so that way you look better. And so then that way you can say, well, see, when the offense is doing better, it's because I'm doing better. That's a diva. That's a cancer. And the one thing I can say about the Philadelphia Eagles is they have been down this road before, so they know all too damn well about how this is going to play out. AKA Terrell Owens. I'll say this right now. Terrell Owens was one of the best receivers that has ever played the game of NFL football. But my God, was that guy ever a locker room cancer, and was that guy ever a big talker who could never figure out how to shut his damn mouth? He alienated quarterbacks, teams like nobody's business because it always had to be about him. He always had to be the center of attention. He always had to be the focal point of any offense he was in. And it became the biggest problem when he was with the Eagles. Because you all remember, when he was with the Eagles, Donovan McNabb did not like being around him as a player. Because Terrell Owens would always be after him saying, why didn't you throw me the ball here? Why didn't you give me the pass? Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? And it was like, dude, as a quarterback, after a while, you just get tired of that nonsense. You get tired of somebody constantly complaining, griping, and just not, being a team player. That's what A.J. Brown is right now. He is a distraction. He is a problem. Think about it. He is so big of a problem, he is so big of a distraction that when you're literally making social media posts about it, and then people are just talking about how you are constantly not happy with what's going on with the offense, that's a big distraction. But it becomes an even bigger distraction when quite literally your owner has to come down to the practice field and pull you aside to have a conversation to try to get you to knock it off. You can say whatever you want about, oh, you know what, they had a very good, very positive conversation about his frustrations. It's like, listen, that should not happen at all. There should never be an instance where a team owner has to come down and literally say, hey man, I understand what's going on, but we're going to try and make things better. We're going to try and get it to where you're more of a focal point here. If you've got to have an owner do that, that's about the time that player should really start getting his walking papers, superstar or not. Because think about it. Terrell Owens literally played for how many damn teams because people just got tired of him constantly complaining. It didn't matter how talented he was. It was like, listen, we're not going to keep putting up with your bull crap. There's very few players that can honestly get away with that for as long as they do. And the only way or the only reason that they do is because they put up the numbers. A.J. Brown's not doing that. And you can say it's because of, Jalen Hurts. You can say it's because of the Saquon Barkley effect. I don't give a damn. You want to know why I don't give a damn? Because the Lions have had a similar situation, but it has not developed into a problem. Think about this, folks. Tell me if this doesn't sound familiar. We have a guy who literally makes defenses have to cover him because if they don't, he becomes a problem. He has not been getting a lot of targets mostly this year because we haven't been able to get the ball to him, whether it's because of game planning, whether it's because of, play calling, whether it's because of any number of reasons. But correct me if I'm wrong here, has any time in the time that I'm talking about here, that guy ever opened his mouth and complained about how, I'm not getting enough targets, I'm not being the focal point of the offense? No. And the reason why you can't say that is because he never has. But everybody knows exactly what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Jameson Williams. Jameson Williams could have easily at any point during the course of this season spoken out about how I'm not getting enough opportunity, I'm not getting enough targets, I'm not being given the ability to show what I can truly do in this offense. Never once did anything ever come out of J-Mo's mouth. And there's a reason why. J-Mo is not a diva. He's not a cancer in that regard. Some people might want to call him a cancer because of some of his off-field shenanigans, but it's like, no, that's just a guy learning and developing and maturing, which he clearly has. Because, correct me if I'm wrong here, I haven't heard anything in quite a while, so you can bury that nonsense and leave it where it is. But that's my whole point. That's not a problem with J-Mo. And you want to know why it's not a problem with J-Mo? Because there is one key difference between the Eagles and the Lions. Culture. The Eagles do not have a culture like the Lions have a culture. Their culture is a completely different kettle of fish. The Lions' culture is about professionalism. It's about team. It's about working together, and nobody is more important than the other. Sure, there are superstars on that team, and everybody knows they're important, but nobody is stepping out and saying, I'm the best player. I'm the biggest guy that's on this team. I deserve all the attention. Goff doesn't do that. Jahmyr Gibbs doesn't do that. J-Mo doesn't do that. St. Brown doesn't do that. Sewell doesn't do that. None of them do it. But yet it's interesting to me that over the last couple of years, A.J. Brown has become the mouthpiece of the entire Eagles organization of saying, I deserve to get more because I feel that I'm the best. And if I'm not getting what I need, the team's not doing well. Again, diva, prima donna, headache, cancer, any term you want to use, that applies to A.J. Brown. And that right there is a big problem because it provides a distraction that a team that is trying to go back to the Super Bowl does not need nor want. Even if A.J. Brown might be right, it's like, listen, shut your damn mouth. You are not helping. And I'm not saying that as a Lions fan. I'm saying that just as a football guy in general. You don't want guys like that. But I'll tell you this, for us Lions fans and the Lions team in general, it's an immense benefit for us. Because you know what it means? It now means that the offense, because they don't want to piss off their superstar too much, they've now got to adjust game plans, and they've got to adjust the way they would want to play or want to have a certain game called to make sure that he's getting more targets. Otherwise, he's going to continue to yap and flap his gums. What that does is it now means that as an offense, you can't play the way you want to play because now you've got to make sure that this guy over here who's a malcontent and wants to continue to run his mouth has to get what he wants. Otherwise, there's not going to be any peace in the locker room. It means we're going to constantly have to hear about this guy's social media posts. That's the power of a distraction. It causes teams to have to change how they want to operate. And when you're trying to do that in the middle of when your offense is clearly not working very well right now, it makes it more difficult. It makes it a big problem, which is a big benefit to the Lions. Because you take a look at the Lions defense. This is a defense that knows how to play elite ball. Nobody's talking about them as an elite defense, but you take a look at their statistics, they are an elite defense. This is a defense that doesn't allow teams to have a lot of third down success. This is a team that is very good at getting turnovers. This is a team that stops teams from scoring a lot. This is a team that is very capable of getting after the quarterback. All things that make it particularly difficult for a quote-unquote diva superstar wide receiver to get what he wants. And when you have a diva wide receiver like A.J. Brown who's opening and flapping his gums, that then means that team's going to try to make sure he gets more opportunities. Well, if you have a defense that's capable of getting after the quarterback, making him uncomfortable, and doing a whole bunch of things to make life very difficult, and now you're trying to force the issue to a player that is not happy because you want to make sure he's happy, it causes a massive issue. But like I said, it's a massive benefit to the Lions because now it means the Eagles can't play the offense that they would like to play. They've got to change things to make sure that one particular player is happy. And that's what, I'm going to say this right now, when you have a player like that, it costs the teams games. It costs them victories. It also costs them cohesion and locker room peace. Because now everybody is in this, for lack of a better word or phrase, damage control mode of, okay, how do we keep this guy happy to shut him the hell up? Right, wrong, or indifferent, shut him the hell up because it's causing problems. It's causing distractions. It's taking us away from our ability to play football the way we know we need to play football. That's why for us Lions fans, we don't want distractions. We don't want locker room cancers. We don't want guys that are going to be headaches. It's like Campbell said, we have no turds here. We don't want them. We don't keep them. We don't bring them in. Doesn't matter how damn talented you are. We're not going to deal with you. And notice that despite the struggles that the offense has had this year, we've still been able to put up 24 points in every single game we played, save the first one. Oh, sorry, and plus the Kansas City Chiefs game. But again, that was more due to the refs. But the point of the matter is this, despite our struggles, we're still consistently putting up 24 points or more. Even with our struggles. And again, nobody was complaining in the sense of we're going to start pointing fingers and saying, well, it's because I'm not getting the ball. Everyone was like, listen, we realize we're not getting the job done. We're just going to keep going back to work. That's not the case with the Eagles and A.J. Brown. It's constant damage control. It's constant window dressing to make it look like it's not as bad as what it appears to be. The problem is it is as bad as it appears to be. Because when you've got a player like A.J. Brown who wants to continually flap and yap his gums, it takes away from that team's ability to perform the way it needs to. Which then, as for us Lions fans, know that it's a major opportunity for us to take advantage of that. That's what I'm trying to get at with this whole episode. By a distraction being as big as A.J. Brown continuing to go unchecked, it means now that we as an offense have another advantage we as a defense have another advantage going up against this offense in their home stadium. That's my whole point with this episode. So yes, while in some sense it might sound like I'm trying to tell A.J. Brown to shut the hell up, I'm saying that more from as a football fan. But as a Lions fan, it's like, listen, keep yapping and flapping your gums, because all it does is it's going to make things better and easier for us. Because the more of a distraction you become, the worse things are going to get. There's a reason why with Jameson Williams, the patience route is better, because the coaches realize the kind of talent that he has. They're going to continue to try and get him the ball. But sometimes you have to be patient. You have to wait your turn. Whether you're a superstar or not does not automatically, entitle you to just get all the looks. You have to sometimes wait for that turn to come around. A.J. Brown's not doing that. But you know what? By continually forcing the turnstile, it makes it easier for teams to play and game plan against not only him, but also the Eagles' offense. Because now everybody knows that the Eagles are going to try whatever they can to get the ball to him. It means that they can't do what they want to do, which I think is a big reason why their offense is having some of the problems that they're having. Because they're trying to placate to a superstar diva who's not happy. And you know what? I'll take any advantage, any benefit I can get, especially when it's a player who does not realize the value of team over self. That's the point of this episode. Again, another benefit that the Lions can take advantage of and exploit. So, having said that, I'm going to end this episode and say thank you all for watching yet another episode of MCM Motor City Mania. If you like what you saw, by all means, I highly encourage you all to watch the next episode. Also encourage you all to do this. If you enjoyed the content, I hope to gain your subscription if I had not yet done so already. Also, if you subscribed in the past and you forgot to do so at the time, or you just subscribed and you just hadn't got around to it while watching this video, please, by all means, make sure you hit that bell notification icon so that way you guys never miss any more content I push out and you guys get the notification as soon as something new is available. Hope y'all are doing well and got something in your life that makes you happy, makes you smile. God bless, my friends. And until the next time we meet, I'll see you all in the next episode.